First of all, it has been way too long since I've made a video. Frank Robles, Strength Equals. And I apologize for the delay in the videos. It just, obviously, this working out is my passion, and wanting to share my passion with people is definitely what I like to do. But that being said, I hate doing videos while I'm working out. I'm a one-man operation. Sometimes I'm trying to get good at the video, or make sure it's at the right angle, or that you can see me, because I bet you in the beginning of this video you couldn't see me. So all that stuff starts to like, I just want to work out, you know? So I'm going to definitely start doing more videos. Some of it was just me talking about my training philosophy, my nutrition philosophy, my Christian life, all that, and how that is obviously unites as a whole on getting stronger, okay? Every one of those things I just mentioned are crucial to being your strongest. Your philosophy and training, nutrition, again, in your life, and Christianity, to me, is the only way as far as how to live. Anyways, this lift that you just saw me doing, obviously I'm doing it with my machine here that I made called the D-Lift machine. I've used it for so many different things. What I'm doing there is a very awkward lift, really just more of that feeling the weight onto one side of your body, obviously working your legs, my obliques, my back, my arms, my hands. I'm gripping this. This is 2 inch or 1.5 inches, maybe close to 2 inch. You're just holding it. There isn't a ton of weight on this. I'm obviously going for higher reps, but total weight's close to maybe 100 pounds. Okay, going for 20 reps, 15 to 20 reps. Go to failure. I've talked about this many times with Mike Mentzer, high intensity philosophy and training. If you're gonna pick it up to failure. Go as hard as you can. Go as hard as you can with the reps to failure. Go as hard as you can with the 1 rep maxes and everything in between. If you're not giving it your all, why are you doing it? As far as your training, is your growth stimulation. Unless you're taking a break or just trying to rehab something, or maybe learning the skill of a movement or the exercise. Outside of that, if you're in here with the intent to get stronger, if you're not lifting it with 100% of whatever it is that you're trying to do, why are you doing it? It's just a waste of time, in my opinion, a waste of energy. It really is just a waste. Maybe I'm wrong, obviously that's just because that's the way I'm thinking. But definitely, I love this exercise. I've been inserting it. Gets you outside of just the normal up and down linear movement of your spine. You got to move sideways. You got to torque it this way, that way. Okay, and it's even more that your spine can do, twisting and all that stuff. I don't like hearing it. You shouldn't lift with a curved back. You shouldn't lift twisting, all that stuff. Obviously, within some limitations, you probably don't want to do max stuff. And even then, maybe I'm just being hypocritical. Build up the strength to do that. Build up the strength to be able to lift with a rounded back, because that's real world stuff. Wrestling, fighting, or moving around stuff. You're in contorted, sometimes not in the perfect, let me lock in my back, let me brace myself, let me get my legs straight. Well, where's my belt? I gotta get my belt. It's not real world. Real world is, find yourself in a situation, you might be cramped up in between, I don't know, a space where, all right, my back's doing all the work right now. If you're only strong at doing the correct movement of a deadlift, you got a 600-pound deadlift, but you can't pick up a person or a log or a thing because you're not in the right bracing moment, or you're not, I don't know, there's a certain weakness there that's missing. And I found that out for myself as I was lifting and trying to go heavy with those movements. I appreciate those movements, I do, and I'm glad I am still strong with deadlift, stone lifting. Okay, but I talked about this a while ago. You got that strength, but you didn't have the strength to, I don't know, again, roll around the ground, sprint, jump. It's like, okay, so you're good in the gym, but in real world, having to run away from something, run at something, play with stuff, play with people, play with your dog, you're kind of like weak. You know, if you know what I'm talking about. It's like, that's not strength to me. That's just part of one aspect of strength. That's a very niche thing. You can pick up a bar that's well balanced, grips are perfect, whatever. I can go on with that. So get strong in doing those things. Don't get me wrong. Get strong doing those things. Definitely a great foundation for strength. But there's more that you can do, and look for that. Don't limit yourself to that kind of strength. So stuff like this, obviously sandbag, still doing all that stuff. I've also come to learn, you don't need to be as big as you think you need to be big. Most of us, unless you're on steroids and have superior genetics, when I say that makes you a better person, let's say for the athlete world, okay? I don't like saying superior genetics because it just diminishes the average person. You can still be a superior person. So when it comes to the strength, if you don't have, the genetics to be a 6'4", 220 pounds lean guy, most people say 5'8", 6 feet tall, you're gonna fall anywhere between 150 to maybe 190 pounds, okay? If you wanna be lean, 10% between, let's say, 8 and 12% body fat, which is definitely an extreme look that people are going to be like, that dude's into lifting. That dude is in shape, if you will. I have learned you don't need to be 230 pounds, 30%, 25%, 30% body fat to be your strongest. You don't. It's an illusion and an excuse to eat and fun. If you want to be that big and that fluffy, fill up clothes and look good, I guess, in the clothes, look good, like you're filling it out, I get that. But if you truly are saying, well, I want to look lean, I want to look muscular, you're not going to get that at 6 feet tall in the natural world. You're not getting that 6 feet tall being, let's say, what we're going to use as an example. You're not going to be 230 and lean. You're not going to be 200 and lean. You're not going to. The realistic view is your potential in your natural muscle mass, okay, is within, if you take your body height and feet and put it into centimeters, so I'm about 181 centimeters, that's what your realistic potential is to be lean at that weight at 10% or so body weight. Give or take a percentage, and give or take 3 to 5 pounds max on that, on either end, depending on your bone density and other factors. But so let's say anywhere between 175 to 185 is your potential to be at 10% body fat. I've heard this, I don't know where it comes up with, but I think it sounds reasonable. For every inch above that, you can add 7 pounds to what I just said, and every inch below that, add 7 pounds to what I just said. Okay, so anyhow, I find that to be a very reasonable and realistic goal to try to go for. Right now, I'm about 188 pounds. I'm probably about that 12% body fat. I'm losing weight and just as strong. There are times I have my weekdays just like everything else. Even when I was at almost 250, 245, I had my weekdays. So a lot of that, you can stop making excuses. I'm getting lighter, so I'm feeling weak. That's just something that's in your head. Stop thinking that. Think strong, as I always say. Think strong, okay? Forget about your weight. Forget about your weight. Fat does not move weights. Fat does not contract. Fat does not make anything move. It just doesn't. Okay, again, I'm not against fat, but if you're thinking that you need to gain a certain amount of weight just to fill the clothes and think you're stretching the sleeves because you got an 18-inch arm, but I don't know, 3 inches of that arm is fat, it's not doing anything for you other than perhaps that's the appearance that you want. And again, not dogging it, but if you want a leaner look, athletic look, you need to slim down, and a lot more than you actually think you do. Okay, compare yourself to the naturals. Again, there's outliers out there. Let's go back to the numbers I gave. Yeah, there's probably some out there that are 6 feet, maybe 190 pounds ripped. Those are outliers. Those are not the norm. Okay, you start getting above 190, 200 pounds, 6 feet tall, 10% body fat, you're probably on something. Not probably, you're on something. Anyways, that's my take on that. So get lean if that's your goal. Stop being scared of being weak. Maybe while you're dieting, you might feel a little bit. Once you balance out, you're strong. Think strong. Think strong. Okay, I'm going on a rant here. So, anyways, I'm glad to be back making a video. You're going to start seeing some more, okay? Definitely with some blabbing. Please, if you have any questions, comments. I would love rebuttals, some your rights, your wrongs. I'd love it. Engage with me, please. All right, as always, stay strong, not only physically, mentally, and most importantly, spiritually. Be wholly strong.